Earlier today, a tragedy of unspeakable terms played itself out in this community. Lieutenant Governor and I have been spoken to in an attempt that we might be prepared for something like this playing itself out in our state. You can never be prepared for this kind of incident. What has happened, what has transpired at that school building will leave a mark on this community and every family impacted. I only ask that all of our fellow citizens here in the United States and around the world who have already offered their assistance remember all of the victims in their prayers. To all of you on the media, we will do our best to keep you as informed as we can. After I'm done speaking, a representative of the state police will speak to you and give you some additional information. Earlier today, a number of our citizens, beautiful children, had their life taken away from them, as well as adults whose responsibility it was to educate and supervise those children. The perpetrator of the crime is dead, as is an individual who the perpetrator lived with. With that, I'm going to turn it over to Paul Vance, who will answer or will give you some additional information, and then later in the day, perhaps we'll speak again. Again, I think on behalf of the people of the state of Connecticut, we extend our condolences, as I have at the firehouse, to the parents of these children, as well as the adults that are there. I want to thank the President, who has been on the phone with us today, for his statement released to you a little while ago, as well as the statements he made to me much earlier today as the hours race by. And with that, I should also say that there are a number of public officials, including the First Select Woman, who has been on site throughout the day. We have state representatives, state senator, other select people who are here. We have the superintendent of schools who has done wonderful work in helping us get the information necessary to begin the processes that will be ongoing for a number of hours in advance. I want to thank Senator Blumenthal and Senator-elect Murphy for also joining us. With that, I'm going to absent myself. Mr. Vance will come forward and speak to you. Thank you very much.
Hi, good evening. I just would like to restate some of the information that we made available earlier. We'll take some questions, but I must preface my remarks by saying this is an active, ongoing investigation. There is a great deal of work to go, and there is a lot of things we cannot confirm or discuss as of yet. But shortly after 9:30 this morning, Newtown Police Department received a call for help at the Sandy Hook Elementary School here in Newtown. Upon realizing the intensity and difficulty of the situation, Newtown called for surrounding police departments and state police to respond to assist. Upon arrival of law enforcement officers at the school, they immediately entered the school as we knew this was an potential active shooter situation. Their focus was to search for students, faculty, and staff and remove them to a safe area outside of the school. They did search every nook and cranny, every room, and every portion of that school and accomplished that task. They took the rescued to a staging area to reunite them with family members. As has been reported, there were fatalities. There were 18 children that were pronounced dead at the school. There were 2 that were transported to area hospitals and pronounced dead at area hospitals. And there were 6 adults pronounced dead at the scene at the school. As the governor has reported, the shooter is deceased. Is deceased in the school. There's a great deal of work going on relative to that. That's the reason we have not identified him as of yet. And by that I mean search warrants, examination of areas of residence, employment, and any ancillary things that may be attached to the identity and to that individual. The scene has been secured. Newtown police officers, state police major crime units from both Western District and Central District have responded and are working with several agencies to process this scene. It is not a simplistic scene, as you can certainly understand. We need to establish identity, we need to document the entire scene, and simply stated, we need to answer every single question surrounding exactly how and why this incident occurred. As the governor said, we will be here through the night, certainly through the weekend, and we're not even putting a time stamp on this as to when we will complete this project. We'll work with the medical examiner's office. We have to establish positive identification, and again, there's a great deal of work that needs to be done here at the school.